And we live now. Welcome to the Six for Sixers podcast. Six for Sixers on YouTube, Six for Sixers on Facebook. And I am your host, Creek, joined by my brother from another mother, Mr. John Jervy. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, Sixers fanatics? We in the building.
And we in the building today. This was the win that we've been waiting for
Yes.
many reasons, but this was the one game that Sixer fans in the last couple months really have been absolutely waiting for. We just defeated the Dallas Mavericks 116 to 120. And the reason why I say this is the game we've been waiting for, because this was the game that showed our true potential without Joel Embiid. In other games, we've lost a lot of games in the last couple months. And I don't think that any of them were really representative of what we could do without Embiid. This was the first game. This was probably, in my opinion, and you could chime in, bro, before we get to our 6 points. In my opinion, this was the best game that they have played without Embiid.
I concur 100%.
Yeah, and this was the one we were waiting on, because we cannot lean on just we don't have Embiid, and that's why we're losing games. And then it was making Embiid look like the ultimate, and we know Embiid is the MVP of the league, regardless if he's played the number of games that they said or whatever. And we know it's a huge loss to us when he's out of the game, but we still got a really capable team without Embiid. Now, when we play Boston, Milwaukee, those are going to be really, really tough games without Embiid. But this game proves that even without Embiid, we can still beat those playoff caliber teams like the Dallas Mavericks. And the Western Conference is super tough. The Dallas Mavericks are not atop the West. They're basically in eighth place in the basically last playoff spot. However, the Western Conference is really, really tough this year. So I thought that was an excellent win in summary. And what we do here on the Six for Sixers podcast is we break the game down in 6 points. And sometimes we go into overtime. And then sometimes through comments, contributions from the people on Facebook, then we go overtime. So if you are watching this live, make sure that you are commenting your points from the game so that we can then add on and discuss. Use the comment box to sound off. All right, point. I got to get the first point, bro.
Go for it. Go for it.
Because my brother, the Swiss Army knife. I've been riding with the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
I've been riding with him the whole time he's been in Philly. And when he was playing well, really, when he's playing well, it's crickets.
Yeah.
It's crickets when he's playing well. I mean, that he might drop 30 points, 40 points, and there's always an excuse. I was watching another Sixers podcast after the last game when Harris dropped like 30 on him. And they were like, oh, well, yeah, okay, against the Charlotte Hornets. All right, yeah. Well, but what about today? They always find a reason to disparage the man when he is down, and then they find reasons to disparage him when he's up. So here we are, Dallas Mavericks, a formidable opponent. Are they championship caliber? Probably not. However, they are a formidable team in the league. And so we have Tobias Harris now scored 28 points on 11 for 19 field goals, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line, 5 rebounds. Now, come on, great game. And to get even more specific about his game today, he was aggressive, going to the basket. Now, I would like for Toby to dunk the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, but he wasn't able to dunk. He was still trying to lay the ball up even when he's close. I mean, Toby like 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
So want him to dunk the ball, but he was aggressive, man. I mean, post up, jumpers in the lane, 3-point shot. He was doing everything. So we cannot disparage this man any longer. And we got to call the last games before the last one, those 3 or 4 games, we got to call it what it was, a slump. And
Mhm.
Harris has had some. Every good player in the league goes through a period of slump where they don't play as well as they normally are capable of. So he had a slump, and he was coming off an injury. So my man bounced back, and I'm glad that he bounced back with a vengeance because maybe it'll shut some people up out there, and then maybe people will try to be fair to him in terms of his playing ability. But he did everything, and I could really do the whole six about Harris because
It's a boy.
I want all of that. I wanted to be his praise to be as loud as that disrespect was, saying that my man was Kerry. I love Kerry. Kerry said he was in Cabo. He on vacation.
Yeah.
And people saying trade him. And people calling for Ricky Council the fourth. I like Ricky Council the fourth. Let me just say that as a young player. But I do not like him over Tobias Harris. And people were saying, oh, give Tobias minutes to Ricky Council. Come on, that's disrespectful to a veteran like Tobias Harris. And I'm glad, Toby, man, if you listening to this, Toby, I'm proud of you, man, for shutting up all these haters. And I don't care how much money he makes. He's not in the structure of this team was never in favor of Tobias Harris coming in and putting up numbers and being like a LeBron, even if he makes 30 million a year or whatever. The structure you got playing with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and then James Harden at one point. The structure of this team was never going to allow him to score 30 points a game. So I that's my first point. Point number one, Tobias Harris dominated this game, and he dominated against an opponent that was not Charlotte Hornets. So stop saying that.
Mhm.
And he dominated in every sense of the game, inside, outside. The only knock I have on Tobias is that I wish he would dunk when he gets really close to the basket. He's still trying to lay the ball up, and I wish he would dunk. But he's not a super hyper athletic guy like Kelly Oubre or anything like that. So that's why he tends to more or less lay the ball up, which I think sometimes will set a more aggressive tone if he just dunks the ball emphatically. So point number one, the Swiss Army knife. Give him his props today. All right, I'm off that. Now your turn, brother. What's your
So,
point number two?
listen, it's hard for the fan base to give Tobias some love because I've seen some of these podcasts and posts as well. And before I get to my second point,
Mm-hmm.
most of them said, let's see what he does Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what he does Sunday. And he showed up. So,
Yes.
so before I get to my second point, this is your boy. So I want
Go
to ask
ahead.
the majority of the fan base is sick and tired of Toby. He's up, he's down. When Embiid's out, he's inconsistent. When Embiid's and Maxey is balling, sometimes he fades because it's only been so many shots to go around. Now, some of that we talked about Nurse got to, fix in the offense to diversify some. But let me ask you this about your boy before I get to my
Mhm.
point.
All right.
What the fan base wants to know is, do you bring him back next year? I don't know if he's tired of Philly, but most of Philly's tired of him. If you was the GM, would you bring him back next year for more than 20 million?
More than 20?
Yeah, let me just give you a number. Would you bring
Mm-hmm.
him back for 23 million? I'm not gonna go 25. I'm not gonna go 20. Would you bring him
All
back for
right.
3?
Yes, I would.
You would. Okay.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Why would I mean, listen, the man has shown the potential to score 30, 28. I think he scored 40 one game in a season high, 40 points. He's shown that he can dominate. He's everything that you want in a power forward. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I've been saying this ever since he's been here. The he can do a little bit of everything. He defends well. This game today, he put a great defense on Kyrie Irving. So he defends well. He can bring the ball up the floor when you're in a pinch. He can post defenders up. He can spot up shoot. from not only mid-range but long range. And then if a defender is bigger than him and he can't post them up, he can face them up and take them to the basket. He slashes, he basically does everything better than average. Is he a knockdown, a dead eye shooter? No. Is he a lockdown defender on everybody? No. Is he? But he's good at everything, and you will be hard pressed to find anybody in this league that excels at that many things and is good at that many things that I just mentioned in this league. And he can rebound. He didn't grab a whole lot of rebounds a night, but really Tobias is good for like 6. Now he had 5 today, but he's good for like 6, sometimes to up to 10 rebounds. So why wouldn't you bring a guy? He's worth $23 million. I mean, and I don't have those stats in front of me, but if we really looked at who's making $23 million in this league, and I might do that. I might post that up later on tonight. Let's look at who's making $20 to $25 million in this league. And you tell me you wouldn't bring this man back. Now, would I bring him back for on a max deal? No. Would I bring him back for what he's making now? No. But yeah, 20, 23, 20. I would even maybe go as high between 20 and 25 million. I mean, throw it back to you before you get to your second point. Would you bring him back for between 20 and 25?
Well, you heard me say during one of our podcasts when he had like 8 straight bad games, I didn't think he was worth 12. I was in my feelings. I was mad. We're losing, and I said he ain't playing. He making 39. I said he ain't earning a third of his salary. I was hot at Toby, although I like him, but I was hot. But showing the last 2 games, I know he kind of gives us this, but that's a number. If he maintains this, why, especially when Embiid's out, that's the number I have in my head, 23. 25, I feel, will be fair market value probably playing at this level. When he sucks, the fan base in general wouldn't want to give him more than 12. But I'm going to say, okay, Toby, you're going to be high and low. Maybe come down a little bit. We come up a little bit. I think 23 is the right number. And yes, I would say I would bring him back. This Toby right here at 23.
Bro, did you say 12 million?
I was hot. I was hot, and I'd be hard pressed to give Toby 12 during his slump. But
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up right now. 12 million.
Man, listen, I would have begrudgingly gave him that when he was in that extended slump. And I think most of the fan base that might have been a raise for some of them to pay him 12. But you know what? But he reminded us the last 2 games that, you know what, if he even wants to come back with all the grief that he's caught, and Sixers give him at least 23, I believe that's the right number.
All right, here we go. 6 for Sixers. Now, we didn't even get to our second point yet, but we had to iron this one out. All right, Sir said we convinced him at 20 million.
20, as he said 20. Okay, he's going 20.
And Bong says 20 to 23 to 25. That's where I'm at. All right. So I got the numbers in front of me. We're gonna start with 20 guys making $20 million, right? And you guys in the comments tell me, all right, Jarrett Allen, Cleveland Cavaliers, 20 million. Bojan Bogdanovic, New York Knicks, 20 million. Keldon Johnson, San Antonio Spurs, 20 million. DeAndre Hunter, Atlanta Hawks, 20 million. Lonzo Ball, Chicago Bulls, 20 million. That's the 20 million group. I'm not gonna read them all, but I'll skip a little bit. We got Mikal Bridges, Brooklyn Nets, 21 million, 21.7. We got Malcolm Brogdon, Portland, 22.5. Now he's a baller.
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson, Utah Jazz, 23.4. Now we going up to the 25 million. Brook Lopez, Milwaukee Bucks, 25 million.
Okay.
Mike Conley, Minnesota Timberwolves, 24 million. Andrew Wiggins, 24 million. Now you tell me Toby doesn't fit anywhere in that. Come on. You think all those guys are that superior to Toby? Tyler Hero makes 27 million.
23 is the right number. And if they settle on 25. The fan base, based off what you just read, should be content for no more than 3 years. 23.
Jeremy Grant makes 27 million. Portland Trailblazers. He's better than Tobias Harris. He can do all the things Tobias Harris can do.
I will say he is more consistent, but that could be because he has a bigger opportunity.
All right.
But
yeah,
he's
different team, right?
Yeah,
different
for sure.
team. All right. Well, we won't belabor. I mean, because we can't stay up here for. I never want my podcast to be like some guys be going live for like an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep it under 30 minutes. But all right. So that's it. We'll see what he does next game. You know what I mean? And people want to see him do that against Boston. Okay, we'll see what he does next time they play Boston or Milwaukee or whatever. But all right, let's go on to the next point because I just wanted to let people know my man showed up today. Give him his props.
I knew he was gonna open with Toby, but I'm gonna say this with the people. We got some faithfuls online now. Y'all heard me say this before. I'm gonna say this every time, especially at the end of a dub when it's relevant. The Sixers will go as far as, you know where I'm going with it. You know who's my boy. As far as KO is going to take him. Now, what I mean by that, he's not the franchise, nor is he the process. So I'm not saying that, he's that dude. So I want everybody to take this in context, but we expect them to do what they do. We expect Toby to be the third fiddle.
Yeah.
But as Shaq said, it depends on the others. Those that win chips or don't win chips, it depends on how well the others play. Yes. So in saying that, and I'm going to get off the point, for time's sake, the process, the franchise, and the Swiss Army knife, they can't win the chip by themselves. Yep. It's going to depend on how well the next tier goes. So in saying that, KO, huge shout out. Anytime he's rocking and balling, I'm cheering, I'm pumping like I'm doing it because I'm looking long term. And if he can give us that consistently, even with the process, I know that's championship caliber play. Now, he gets frozen out. We know that. And he don't get a lot of touches sometimes when the B comes back. So Nurse has to figure that out. But if he can give us that early, we said first 10 games, Kelly, and get that 14 to 16 mark consistently, taking over in stretches like he did tonight when the big boys need a rest, I like our chances. Huge shout out to KO is my point number 2.
I'm a piggyback on that. KO was huge. I'll give you his stats: 21 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Perfect game. The one thing, if I got to be critical, because that's what we have to do, but that was a great game. And let me say all the positive first. And I agree with you that KO is what I like to call X factor.
Yes, sir.
He's a guy that is the X factor because you said 1, 2, and 3 on our team is pretty solid. You could do. KO brings in an X factor. If he can get like he did 15 to 20 something a game, early 20s, it's going to make it tough for us to be defended because they don't know who's going to be that guy that game. The thing about Kelly Oubre, where he's also inconsistent, is that he tends to stay in the corners a little bit too much and waiting for something. But he's so athletic. He's so wiry, man. He can get to the basket almost at will. So I would like to see him do that. Just get in the motion of the offense, get the ball straight to the basket. The thing I would like to see Kelly Oubre do less of is shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And today, not tonight, I'm used to the night games, but today he was 1 for 7 from 3-point. And the reason why I like to see him shoot less is because, like, from the 3-point line, is because he doesn't need to. He can get to the basket at will. He doesn't need to shoot. And on this team, you have Maxey, you have Hield. Now you got Lowry who can shoot the 3 too. You have Harris who shoots at a higher percentage than Oubre does. And you have Batum as well, who can also shoot the 3. So we talking about playing roles. We do not need Kelly Oubre to shoot the 3-point shot like at that high amount. 7 is too many, in my opinion. Now, if the shot clock is running out, you out there and you okay, because he's capable of hitting it, but not shooting 7 times. And not when you can get to the basket. And he goes to the basket aggressive. really, I'd like some Oubre to rub off on Harris that
Yeah.
like I'm gonna dunk it. I don't care who's down here. I'm rising up and dunk. And some of his dunks he misses, and some of them get blocked, but it doesn't matter. It's all about the statement. So I like that. My man Kelly Oubre. That's point number two. Came through big time. My point number three. I'm gonna go more in a team aspect. Point number three: ball movement, or as Kerry likes to call it, player movement. They're running a lot of different sets now in the offense. And when Embiid went out, it was kind of like give it to Maxi and let's just watch him and see what he does. When Embiid was there, that was the same thing. Give it to Embiid, and Embiid gonna ask for the ball, and let's just all right, go ahead, big fella. You're gonna make a shot, make the shot. But today you see a lot of player movement. You don't see guys just standing up, posting in the corner, waiting for a ball that might never come. And I give credit to Nick Nurse for implementing some motion in it. Guys are cutting to the basket and they're getting found cutting to the basket. I mean, in the last game, Paul Reed had found Maxi cutting to the basket. Guys are picking for other guys, they coming off screens, and it's a lot more player movement, and that creates a lot more confusion for the defense because they really don't know who the guy is going to be. I don't, and Maxi today, we'll get to Maxi, but Maxi had 24 points. So I really don't like when Maxi gets up 30 plus points because then that's when defense say, all right, we know Maxi's going to go to the basket. He's not going to pass. He could be triple team. He's going to contort his body, try to put a shot up. That's easier to defend. Now that we got Hield, now that we got Lowry, now we got all these weapons. And when the players are moving, they're screening they're coming off in the motion, they're moving around. You just cannot really tell because you got Maxi who could kill you. You got Buddy Hield who could kill you. Oubre can get to the basket. Harris when he's on. So I love the offense, the way it looks. It looks more balanced. The scoring effort was more balanced because you didn't just have Maxi scoring a ton of points. You had Oubre, Hield, Harris. Everybody was getting involved, and even Paul Reed, which I have a point about him if you don't get it first. So that's point number three: ball and player movement. Ball's moving around a lot better, which is causing a more balanced attack on offense. All right, that's point number three. You can piggyback on that, or you can give me the next point.
Nah, I mean, you said it all. Just totally agree. Love the movement on that point. So did a great job with that. Nothing needs to be elaborated further. But I'm a shout out somebody who is has been inconsistent, but because of their age, I understand it. But I have to shout out how much of a key factor and contribution they made to the dub. And it's what they used to call what's the boy's name we left? PJ. They used to say he does the little things. I know my uncle TJ Anthony, he calls him PJ Little Things Tucker, but he posted something today on another Sixers site that said this is what little things looks like in reference to Lowry's leadership.
There
And
you
I
go.
agree, yeah, 1,000%. Just his leadership, the way you could see him, rallying the guys at critical times and making the right decision, the right play. He's not the Lowry of Toronto's championship team, but definitely the next point, is the key to Lowry's leadership at the point spot. And then when Embiid comes back, he's someone I believe, and I want to see if he can be the one that say, listen, I'm not going, when you start doing this, we always say, B, give it to me. Get it
Yeah.
back. And I think Lowry got enough of, look, I got a ring. I've done this
Mhm.
before. So no,
Yeah.
we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and move this way. Now, will he? I don't know if he will, but he has the heart, the leadership, and the toughness to tell Embiid no. And
Yeah.
to your point, to make sure player movement, ball movement, it stays consistent at a championship level. So just shout out to how optimistic I am about Lowry's leadership. And I just can't wait to see how all of this comes together when the big fella comes back.
True indeed. I got to piggyback on that point. Kyle Lowry makes me forget all about Pat Bev. Somebody
Yes.
put that in as a post on the Facebook page.
Yep.
I don't even think about Patrick Beverly. I not even thought about Pat Bev since Kyle Lowry stepped on the floor.
Mm-mm.
And let me tell you why. Kyle Lowry is everything that I've been calling for in a point guard since the beginning of this season when James Harden decided that he didn't want to play with the Sixers anymore. He is a guy who has veteran presence.
Yep.
He's not going to score like James Harden, okay. He's not as dynamic as James Harden, okay, but he knows how to play basketball. He's that guy we used to call a wily veteran. Remember that? We used to
Yep.
use that
Yep.
phrase, a wily veteran. Now he's not going to dunk. He's not going to go to the back. He's not going to cross over everybody and do all that stuff that ESPN likes. However, he knows how to play the game, and particularly on offense. Serge said he did horrible on some defensive possessions. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's not. I mean, what is Lowry like? 34 maybe.
Older than that, man, he's in his upper 30s.
Yeah, he's in the he's in the other half of 30.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't expect him to be a defensive stopper. Somebody can put that in the comments. What is it on Lowry's age? But I don't expect him to be that in terms of a defensive stopper, but on offense, the leadership, like you said, the little things, which are turned into much bigger things when you're trying to make a championship run. He was only, I mean, didn't play a great game offensively, 1 for 9, terrible shooting day,
Yeah.
but just his leadership.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not talking about leadership like Pat Bev, where it's just like kind of like rah-rah type stuff. But Lowry is the most accomplished, and I'm talking about team accomplishment player, probably I think on the whole team right now,
Yeah.
in that he has that one prize that they all play for and that we all hope they can get to. We're not hoping we're not looking 37 is Lowry. We're not looking for MVP is cool, right? Guy scoring 50, 60 points. Would it be hit 70 points? That's cool. Yeah, that's great. Yay. But at the end of the day, we really want to parade down Broad Street. We really want to do what we some of us who saw in 83, I was too young to really have to really take it in, but we won a championship. And Kyle Lowry is the one that brings that type of leadership, and Nick Nurse, along with Kyle Lowry, bring that championship pedigree. So yeah, I agree. When Embiid comes back, hey, big fella, I know you MVP, I know you this, and this, but however, I've won a championship.
Yep. I
And
got
if
this.
this is, I got this. And
I
if
got
you
ring.
want this, yeah, I got a ring. And if this is what you want, then you need to listen to my leadership.
Most
And I don't
definitely.
want to see all that clapping and hype. And just I want to see some ball movement. So yeah, I agree with you. Shout out to Lowry. Great game. And from a leadership perspective, yes, defensively, yes, he did not shoot well. But think about the intangibles that he brings to this team. Greatly. Only thing I hope is that his body will hold up, because I do remember in the Heat that with the Heat in the late when they got into the later rounds, he did look really, really like worn out.
Yeah.
So that's what was that, point number 4?
4. Yeah.
This is point number 5. I'm gonna go with what I call Mo. What did I say last night? Mo Reed. Mo Reed.
Oh, Reed.
Yeah, the last game I termed him Mo Reed now. Because see what I gotta do is, since Embiid is out, I gotta put them together. I can't count them as one because
Uh-huh.
they're not gonna measure up to Embiid, but I'm gonna put them together and I'm gonna call him Mo Reed. And Mo Reed tonight, I think both those guys are playing great basketball. Mo Bamba was 2 for 3, 5 rebounds, 2 for 3, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. And Paul Reed was 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 13 points, 5 for 6 from the field.
Big
The
time.
combination of both of them really, in my opinion, hold that center position down enough for us to stay competitive. And they are two players who are taking advantage of an opportunity now since Embiid is out. And Mo Bamba was saying all offseason that he got a raw deal and that he's on the Sixers. He's playing. They re-signed Reed and they got Embiid, so he was really third fiddle. But I think Mo Bamba is making the most of his opportunity. He's been getting the start lately because I think Nurse likes the way he plays in the starting role. but in terms of minutes, the lion's share of the minutes have gone to Paul Reed. And I think that that's lit a fire under Reed. So I'm giving a shout out to Mo Reed. Bamba and Reed, the combination, you guys are playing excellent ball, efficient. Bamba's moving a lot better on the floor, and they're defending a lot better as well. So shout out to Mo Reed. Both of those players, Mo Bamba and Paul Reed, B-ball Paul, did their thing today. So that's my point number 4. I mean, point number 5.
Yeah, Mo Reed, love it. So from here on out, that's how we're addressing the center position. Mo
Mo
Reed,
Reed.
when they both contribute. If they don't contribute, and somebody getting dropped from that,
Yeah, yeah.
we only
Yeah.
going with the government or the other person. But I'll say, man, just point number 6 is they pulled it out, but Nurse is either going to have to, and I don't want to put this all on him, but he's a championship caliber coach making big money, is have end of game sets to help us get some easier buckets when the money's on the line. Because we talked about they've battled some of the better teams, Boston, I think even Milwaukee, and then they ran out of gas at the end. When they had to get a bucket, they couldn't do it. And the other teams had stars that got it done. So even today, I was saying to myself, man, I don't know if you felt the same way. Like that trend was happening. We were struggling, couldn't get a bucket. Then Toby ended up hitting a clutch 3 because KO penetrated, kicked it to him. Then Toby got the little mid-range, so everything ended up working out. But I'm just I'm nervous, man. I know the fan base is nervous when the game's on the line. And this is a team that we was pretty equal to in talent, with Toby stepping up like he did to pretty much cancel out Luka. But we just need either end the game sets that's different from what we run, throughout the course of the game, or we need a combination. This is without the big fella, of course. Toby and KO to be able to create a little bit more and give us something, whether it's the post, whether it's to penetrate like KO did when Maxey went out. He took the game over for that stretch at the end of the third and gave us like 8 straight points. We need to see that at the end of the game. Need a little bit more aggression from Toby to where, not to the degree where I say with like Boston with Tatum. If Tatum got it with the game on the line, you feel comfortable if they need a bucket. He's going to get you a high percentage shot, or you're going to get fouled and hit both the foul shots. So I say all of that to say late game execution, we pulled it out. So it's not something we're harping on, but we need to not just feel more comfortable, but need to see the results to be able to pull out of the game or to close the game out without us sweating, like, where's the production of points going to come from when they're smothering the perimeter and Toby and KO is being a little bit passive because, it takes a clutch gene to be able to pull a game out or close a game out. So just want to see tighter late game execution to pull it out over the game on the line is my point number 6.
That's point number 6. And I'm going to add Serge, who made that point earlier in the post, in the comments. He said Nurse had a bad game coaching today at the end of the game. The clueless play by Maxey, Lowry and Batum, two being vets with 2 close 8-second violations. I agree. And then adding on to what you said, now I would say not only offensively, you're talking about offensive set plays to get those buckets. He didn't have that. And also, to me, the defense was terrible at the end of the game, and the rebounding. It was like the Mavericks should not, the game shouldn't have been that close at the end.
No.
The game should not have been that close at the end. It was almost like defensively, the Sixers just let up. They stopped guarding defensively. They had one play where I think that I forget who had the rebound. I think it was Toby and somebody else. We both our players fighting for the rebound, and the ball goes out of bounds. Luka got some wide open 3-pointers, which Luka is Luka. But then I forget who the player was, but he shot Jones, I think his name was, shot a wide open 3, bring the game close. Kyrie Irving, he shot a 3-pointer to bring the game. So it came down to the very end. We really and I expected Dallas to make a run, and they waited till basically the last 5 minutes to make a run. But I felt like some of that falls on coaching that the defense lacked at the end of the game, and also Dallas got a lot of offensive rebounds there at the end of the game too. So it was both a letdown offensively and defensively. And really, we won that game because we had built up like we were up by like 18 at one
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
and so it was going to be tough for Dallas to come back. But yeah, that's an overtime point. Anybody else with overtime points? Now is the time. Um, Bong says the steal and the block, and back-to-back assists in the fourth, that opened the game. And Batum intangibles, yep, is an overtime point too. Batum intangibles in particular, Batum, those last free throws Batum hit was very critical key. And Batum is not a high percentage free throw shooter. I think he's like 69%. So yeah, him being a veteran and knowing I got to make these in the overtime period as well. Let me just go over the team stats real quick. Um, this was the one game, bro, that the Sixers proved me wrong because I've been saying all season if they don't get over 30% three-point shooting, they probably not gonna win. Today was 29% from the three to Dallas's 39% from three. Rebounding, total rebounds was about even 42 to 45. This was killer for them. Well, actually for us, they had 17 total turnovers, but we
Yeah.
only had 13 points off of those turnovers. We had 9 turnovers, and this indicates they scored 25 points. Wow. For nine turnovers. Um, Points in the paint, we had 52 to their 42. I like that stat.
Yeah.
So and the largest lead to us was 18, and for them was 11. So yes, the points in the paint was awesome today. Credit Tobias Harris, credit Paul Reed for that. And trying to think who else was really instrumental. And Maxi goes to the basket too. So give him a
My
few
boy
of those.
KO now. Shout out my boy KO.
Yeah, yeah, Kelly Oubre and Kelly Oubre too. But then that 1 for 7, you got to talk to KO about that.
I'ma holla at him. I'ma holla at him.
I'll add him. All right, everybody. This is the Six for Sixers podcast. I'm your brother, Creek Creek. Sometimes we write, sometimes we go live. And this was one I wasn't gonna go live. I was just gonna write it. But I had to, man, I was so excited because this was the best win, I think, of the
Mhm.
season without Embiid.
Had to go live.
Yeah, have you got any last points, brother?
Man, nothing, just shouting out, man, all the participation. The homie Surge is just saying, yeah, we took care of the ball in the clutch. Other than the last minute. No question, Surge, no question, man. But just shout out to all the 6 for 6 fans, man, all 6 for 6 partners that just contributing and giving feedback and helping to push this to the top podcast in the nation.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna make it there, man. We're gonna make it. Serge, John, Bong, shout out to Brandon. And who else we got up here? I think that was all the contributors. So shout out to them. And we'll see you on the next time. This is the Six for Sixers podcast, 6 points or less. Again, we post this also to YouTube. So please like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Build up the community here. We hit over 400 members on this page. We probably should have like 800 if I let everybody in. We would have like we might be over 1,000, honestly. But I done blocked a whole bunch of people that just want to say silly stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then if you don't answer the membership questions, then you get denied entry too. That's automatic through the Facebook settings. So you have to answer the 2 questions. The one question is, when was the last time we won a championship? And who was the greatest Sixer ever? And I had somebody kept saying Bill Russell was the greatest Sixer ever. And I just kept denying, and she just kept coming back, Bill Russell. And so I guess, so then I had to block that one because I knew that wasn't a true Sixer fan.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, we up on the Facebook page, but we gotta do better on the YouTube page. But to be fair, the Facebook page started like a year ago, and the YouTube page just started like probably about a month and a half ago. So we'll get there, you know. Anyway, thank y'all. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one. Go
Yeah.
Sixers.
Play the
Play the
song.
song. We can finally play the song. I gotta look at the rules on playing the song on YouTube, on Facebook. I don't think I could play it without permission. So that's why I haven't played it. But
Okay.
I gotta look up the rules because I would love to just actually play the song. So anyway, y'all can play it on your Spotify or whatever. On your own. All right, Six for Sixers podcast. We out. Appreciate you, brother, for joining in.
For sure, man. That's what we do. Peace.
All right. Yes, next time, go Sixers.